Yeah, there it is. So, listen, we got a bunch of people in here watching. Appreciate everybody tuning in. If you would hit that like button, subscribe. If you're here on YouTube, feel free to click the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live. We're going to hang out for a little bit, guys. If any of y'all need to go. I say we continue to comb through Twitter and see if anything else comes down the pike here. Obviously, we're done with our normal content, but this is a unique situation as the Micah Parsons rumors are starting to swirl a little bit. I trust Easton Butler. I'll tell you that.
Dude is plugged in.
Yeah, he's a stand-up dude, man. Stand-up guy for sure. And not that I don't trust anybody else that's talked about it. It's just anytime I hear the 2 first, the second, and the fifth, I know where that originated, and I'm like, I think people are just kind of pulling that off of what was mentioned before. Chuck says Mandy is done with Clay. Mandy left town about an hour ago. She's done. She's already out of here, bub. And yeah, so we gotta figure something out there. Oh wait, but all right, Jacob.
Yes,
we're going into Micah Watch. I said a bad word. Crap just got serious, okay? What are you willing to give up if it is real? What's the maximum amount of draft capital Jacob, the beard, is willing to give up for Micah Parsons? And you two gentlemen get ready at the bottom because you're going to be asked this unless y'all want to sign off.
All right. If I actually have to decide on this, I would be willing to give up LVN. And I don't want to, so I don't want to do this. Basically, what Dennis just said, I'd give up LVN and 1.
I don't want to do this.
I'd give up LVN and maybe a 2, like a second round pick or a third round, maybe like, I hate saying it again, but like Romeo Dobbs and a second or something like that. But I don't want to do that. But if you force me to do something like they've done at the office, to me, it's just not worth it, man. It is odd, though. I will say this. It's odd to me that we kept 5 DNs and only 4 linebackers. I'm not saying there's any writing on the wall that they knew something was going to happen, but it was a little bit surprising to me that both of those rooms are a lot lower than I thought they would be as far as the rotation goes. But that's all I got to say about that.
My answer is easy. Nothing. No one, nothing, nobody, no money, nothing, 0. I like our guys. Go ahead, Emilio.
So you would not trade for Micah Parsons?
No, I would not. I would absolutely not.
Got it.
I would either. Just for the record, I don't want to do it.
Okay, so Jacob and Tim would not trade for Micah Parsons. Okay, got it. Go ahead, Emilio.
Yeah, I mean, I've been opposed to it the whole time. Obviously, the dude's pretty elite in his own aspect. If we're doing it, I would want to bite all the bullet off I possibly could right away. And say, all right, give him a 20, give him a 26 first and a third, and walk away if they don't take it. Because I mean, I'm setting the price if I'm going over there and taking a guy who's under contract for you for potentially the next 3 years. I'm gonna walk into Ross and put my own yellow sticker on that thing and tell him what I'm giving him, and then we can worry about the money later on. Obviously, we kind of move some around. Depends on who leaves, the O-line and stuff moving forward, but and the TV deal coming up. So maybe the money wouldn't be as bad, but it's just kind of tough. You're bringing in somebody from the outside that's going to be getting paid almost more than your quarterback and more than anybody else on defense who's tenured and has been there for a long time. And again, that locker room aspect, we got rid of Rasul Douglas, who we thought was a dog in the locker room and a good locker room guy. I just wouldn't want to bring a dude that's laying on the training table in the middle of a game. I think it was Ross Tucker talking about it. He's like, dude, if I were the Cowboys, how are you bringing a dude? How are you letting him sit in? You know what I mean? Like if you're paying the dude, you're working when you're there. I don't want you sitting there and because you'd have those kids in high school all the time. Like you can't be a distraction if you're just going to be sitting there. You can't be the dude that's taking everybody's mind away from the game. That would be my only hang up.
I got you. Now, I think that's a legit hang up there too, man, for sure.
Yep.
JJ McQuaid in the chat says Eagles cut Antoine Powell, Ryland. Yeah, Pat's cut edge Braden Swinson.
Ooh.
That's interesting there, right? And Rams cut Chris Paul Jr. A couple surprising cuts today. Was Chris Paul Jr. a rookie this year?
I thought all those.
He was the linebacker from Ole Miss. He was actually my middle linebacker in Ultimate Team for a while.
Wasn't Swinson the DN LSU guy?
didn't we talk about him being undersized? Am I thinking right,
Yeah.
Emilio?
Yeah, he's a little bit small, but he really was a decent Mike. Powell Ryland we had at 140, 149. He was above Colin Oliver, actually. He was 4 spots above Colin Oliver.
Mm-hmm.
And Braden Swinson.
That was the LSU kid that we liked, right?
Who?
Braden Swinson.
No, you're thinking of who's he thinking of? Emilio, the
Carson Schwarzenegger.
No. LSU edge. Was it Braden Swinson?
I swear it was.
Oh yeah, Braden Swinson, LSU edge. He had an 80 grade.
That was the one. Yeah, that's the one that Greg Cosell absolutely loved.
Right, he was a captain, cheese emoji, hard eyes.
That's
what
I'm saying.
there? What happened there?
I mean, Rams got a real nice young D line right now, so maybe
Chris Paul. Chris Paul was our fifth best linebacker, just behind Danny Stutzman.
Hey, let's go.
So Braden Swinson and Chris Paul are actually in the same exact tier 10, in between an 80 to a 90 grade. Both of them getting cut.
Got it. Good stuff.
There's potential out there.
Yeah, definitely. And that's what you're looking for, right? You're looking for these guys that you had a high draft grade on. Let's assume that. What was the grade on Swinson again, Emilio? What was the number of grade that we had on?
Was an 80.7.
Let's assume that Goody had him in his top 100, right?
Darren Sorrell, really quickly. Darren Sorrell was a 121.4 out of Texas.
There you go.
Yeah, wow.
You're probably open to bringing a guy like that in. Get a look at him. Now that's where you got to keep a little bit of flexibility on the 53 because you can't just put him on the practice squad. You got to bring him in, put him on the 53. That's what we're saying. Like maybe you get him in and you realize what the other teams are seeing on him, right, or was not seeing on him, and you cut him loose. So, respect the one that says drink every time Parsons is mentioned.
Just so you guys know, Tim in the chat can tell that you're visibly sick to your stomach and that you hate the Micah Parsons talk. I agree. I do.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not going to hate on anyone's opinion. And like we've discussed this ad nauseum already. We're not knocking Micah Parsons. He's a monster on the football field, but I just don't see how you auction off that much capital to bring one guy into your team and basically give up on everything you've been building these last couple of years. And then the next couple of years for that matter. So,
yeah, I think the real question is, for me personally, is what would the actual offer be? That's the big thing for me. Like I would love to have Micah Parsons, but what's the price? And everybody's kind of all over the joint with the price. I've been pretty vocal. I would go first and a third is what I'd be willing to give up. If I got to pay him 41 to 45 million per, I'd go a first and a third. That's what I'd be willing to give
from this year. With no player, correct?
That's this year.
See, that's as close as my head can get to a deal for him. Right?
It'd be
keep our personnel, couple picks. Let's go. I could see that at the most.
Now, if you're saying, okay, they would want, LVN in a first.
Yeah.
I could get close to that. I don't look at that deal and go, no, absolutely not. But this talk of 2 firsts, a second, and Rashawn Gary, and that's just absolutely insane.
This talk that if you bring Micah Parsons to Green Bay, that we're automatically winning a Super Bowl, like that's. I mean, we've already talked about the Reggie White comparisons, which is asinine. I think we're getting way too willing to put all our eggs in one basket and bet the farm on one player. It's a team game, guys, and we've been building a team for several years. And as Clayton always says, right, we're building a team, not collecting talent. And I disagree.
Yeah, to me, it doesn't feel like the type of locker room guy that we deserve in Green Bay. That would be you guys know how cheap I am. I am the biggest cheapskate of all time.
Yeah.
But to me, I'm more of an emotion guy, a locker room guy. I want to have good vibes. Like I just don't think that he would be the type of person that would mesh well with the city, with the locker room, with the community. I could be wrong. And if it happens, then I'll embrace him with open arms. But yeah.
I mean, you're talking about a guy. What is he? 20? He's 26 years old, right?
Yeah.
You're going to get his best years, no doubt about it. You put that much capital into somebody, though, man. That's why the money is a big factor for me, because all it takes is you're one knee injury away from tying up $40 million of your cap. I mean, what would the percentage be on that? I don't even know what the percentage of the cap would be there. What is the salary cap this year? Does anybody know right offhand by chance? The actual total?
I want to say it was like 270 something.
What it was? Yeah. Let's see. Let's go 2025 NFL salary cap. It is 279 million. So do the math right there, boys. 279. Let's just call it 41 million on the low end of what some people are projecting it would be, right? So
I mean, that's too much, man. That's that's quarterback style money almost. You know what I mean? For most, and we look at what happened with, obviously that Browns deal when they got, was it Watson? That was the dumbest thing that's ever happened. But that's still ruining that organization years later. I don't want to dip that much money into one single player that isn't necessarily known for being, the best locker room guy. That's just, to me, seems like you're asking for a problem. And like Tim said, we've been working so hard building this team up, being the youngest team, really working it through the draft, having a lot of up and coming players, signing smart free agents at smart times in their career that benefit the team. I just, and then I understand this, Donovan says scared money don't make money. I understand that, but
that's something I say all the time. I've actually got it wrote on a whiteboard. That's how I've had to, and listen, I'm the most conservative person you'll ever meet financially. Is like, I spoil my wife rotten, right? You go buy whatever you want to get. Me, I'm over here eating a frozen pizza. You know what I mean? But scared money don't make money, man. That's a fact. Now, if you miss though, I keep coming back to, and I know people don't like this comparison, this analogy. Like Greg Rice says, overpay for great, right? He's great. There's no doubt. Let's pull up his PFF. Let's just take a quick gander here. I want to see exactly.
I'm willing to overpay for great. I'm just not willing to, auction the future of the franchise in the mix to do it, right? That's why I'm with you. Money and draft picks. Now you're starting to get me, interested a little bit. But when you start talking about Rashawn Gary or LVN and all these guys, like, stop it,
Yeah.
Yeah, his PFF grade is very heavily leaning on his pass rush ability and his pass.
We talked about that the other night. It's like, if he's on the field, does the opposing team just assume he's rushing the passer every down? Like,
right.
But they can kind of keyhole on that. And obviously we know how good he is against double teams and things like that. But I mean, that is what he is. He is a pass rushing edge defender.
Right. Very true. So if you look at the run defense grade, right, and that's the downside to his game, 65, 68, 73, 59. That's going backwards. So let me say that properly. Starting in 2021, 59, 73, 68, 65. And I know there's people out there who go, well, you're not paying them to stop the run. Okay, then don't come in here complaining when somebody gashes you for a 45-yard gain because that dude rushed 8 yards up the field beyond the pocket or where the pocket would be.
You mean like Aaron Jones did a couple years ago in Dallas?
Yeah. So in terms of a pass rusher, though, 91, 93, 92, 93, he's been a great pass rusher since he got in the league. There's no two ways about it. What are you willing to sacrifice, though? Because that's the other thing that many people don't look at is when you give something up, when you say, all right, we're going to focus in on this on defense, you got to give something up. There's no defense. There's no call where it's like, okay, we're going to take away the pass. We're going to take away the run. We get pressure on the quarterback. Mm-hmm. Everything's just going to be perfect. That's not how it works. Last year, we chose to key in on the run. We finished second in yards per carry allowed. I remember damn near 2 decades of Packer football where Packer fans were so over the fact that teams were running the ball down our throat. Like, I remember it like it was yesterday. We finally get that buttoned up, right? And again, complain about the pass rush, we were 8th in sacks. Well, you take away the 3 best games, okay, take away the 3 best games from every team. If you're going to compare apples to apples, compare apples to apples. Don't do that with the Packers and then go to another team and say, okay, well, here's how good they were at rushing the passer, but you don't remove their best 3 games. That makes sense. So that's what you're giving up, man.
Yeah.
If Micah Parsons, and here's the other thing. If we call a defense like we did last year, Jeff Hafley, which would we all agree? Is there anybody in the chat that did not like the way Jeff Hafley called the defense last year? Let me know. There may be somebody out there, and we can agree to disagree. I have not met one Packer fan that's like, I don't like the way Hafley calls defense, right? The reality is he didn't let those guys pin their ears and go. He just didn't do it. With Micah Parsons, that's what you would do with him. Pin your ears and go get the quarterback. Well, you're going to have teams run right at his ass, and that's going to be a liability on the edge, unless you kick him back to stack backer like they did his rookie year, and now you become a little more unpredictable in that regard. So, United Bates on their ears just run.
So the only thing that gets me on Micah here is, you're looking at, there's your 103 total pressures, Clay, that was picked from 2023. There's that, but 2024 70, right? Okay, so that kind of dropped. Go over to the tackles. 2021, yes, rookie guy, 61 tackles, love it. You're putting it out there. Drops to 37, almost in half. Okay, not too worried. 34 last year, 26, and his missed tackle percentage is almost climbing. Besides, his 103 and 23.
Is that real?
He missed 16. This is according to PFF, where we can't look at the tape, right?
Yeah,
16% missed tackle rate last year. That's, boys, again, getting a hell of a pass rusher, but at what expense? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. 20 million per, oh, sign me up. 30 million per. You get over 40 million per and you're missing 16% of your tackles. Yeah, that's a tough look. It's a real tough look. So it's interesting though, man, for sure. Let me comb through Twitter one last time before we wrap up here, man. Anything else you guys want to add to the Micah Parsons talk here? Is obviously there's multiple people talking about it. Easton Butler, the more recent one, and I've already seen people they're not tagging Easton Butler, but they're bashing Easton Butler like he's not in the know-how. I just absolutely love how people who have a well-established following on Twitter are so quick to bash other people like that. It cracks me the hell up. They act like I call them the gatekeepers, and I don't give a rat's ass to make somebody mad or not. They've established themselves within the Packer community, and we will tell you what to think. We will tell you what to think.
Emilio, Tim, what do you guys think about H.E. Soder's comment? Can you hide, basically in quotations saying, can you kind of mask what Parsons is going to do on that defense against the run with linebackers like Cooper, Walker, and Hopper? What would your take be on that, considering, though, like we mentioned it in earlier podcasts, that the majority of the time that 4-3 base is like 15% of the snaps. The majority of them was the nickel 4-2-5, right? So who are you taking on off the field to put those guys all on the field at the same time would be my question.
And I don't think you can, if you're going to put an emphasis on the run, then your pass D is going to suffer, right? We talked about guys having to be versatile and be able to touch spy and, get out in coverage and things like that. So if you're going to fire a guy like Micah Parsons off the edge, or, have him mugging a gap or something on occasion and just going after the quarterback, if you're going to try and mask that with stack backer play, I think that's going to take away from our middle of the field coverage against like RPO and, pass plays and things like that. I mean, we actually saw that in the first handful of preseason reps in that first game, that it was just over the middle was constantly wide open. We were getting lit up. And I think that's because of, what you give up when you're focusing on the run versus the pass. And I think when you get a guy like Micah Parsons into this kind of system, that's what we would probably have to account for. Like, he's not terrible against the run, but it's not great, right? So I don't know if you can quote unquote hide that, especially given all the tape that Micah Parsons has out there, right? He's no stranger to anybody in this league right now. So
it's kind of tough, especially if you have him at edge. You're asking him to set the edge on a counter, set the edge on a sweep, on an outside zone, all that. He can do it, obviously, but sometimes to take away somebody like that, you're running at him in general. You're trying to attack him, double team him, push him off the balls, things like that, and it would potentially work if Gary's tearing it up on the other side. You're bringing maybe a blitz from the opposite side. You're trying to work around it. It's just Man, I just don't know about the capital that we'd be giving up. But if it happens, it happens. Well, I guess we'll see tomorrow morning when we wake up. Be like Christmas morning, Jacob.
Yeah. Matt Schneidman has not tweeted anything about it. Matt Schneidman, as you guys know, he's plugged in as anybody. Tom Silverstein as well. He hasn't tweeted anything about it. Andy Herman said, okay, this Micah Parsons thing, hearing buzz from multiple people, still not holding my breath, but it doesn't seem like nothing. So he's hearing some stuff behind the scenes as well. So, yeah, there you go with that. That's the update there. And again, nothing from Matt Schneidman to this point. Let me comb through a couple more here. You guys keep on talking.
But yeah, everybody that's on Twitter, you can click on Clayton's account on X and go ahead and hop over to YouTube, sub, like, appreciate that. But yeah, man, we'll be covering Packers daily. I think that we might have something, right, guys? I don't know. We'll see.
Let's see what Kay Adams has said here lately.
Yeah, let's get the real info. We got to talk to the unofficial GM right now.
No, hey man, people rolled their eyes about McKinney, and boy, oh boy, she delivered on that one. McKinney, and then there was another one too. No, she was trying to get Devontae Adams back. What it was?
Yeah, she was going hard to get Tay Adams back. That would have been cool, right? Kay Adams gets Tay Adams back to Green Bay, but lo and behold, he's a Ram. What are you going to do?
I will not stand for the Easton Butler slander, though. I know that.
That's right. Let's go. Line them up, Clayton. Let's start the list.
To belt the ass out here. Give me the audio. Go ahead, Jacob. What were you going to say, man?
Yeah, just if I had to play devil's advocate, Donovan Schilling brings up a good point. He's okay, guys, but imagine Parsons with actually good coaching. I'd argue too, a good atmosphere, a good owner, or multiple million owners, and just like an actual environment where he is held to account. It's not Jerry's world in Green Bay. When you come into Green Bay, there's an expectation of how you're going to hold yourself as a professional, as an athlete, as a member of the community. And we've seen it happen with multiple other players where, the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Brenton Cox Jr. was considered a no-fly zone for most teams. And we brought him into Green Bay, and the guy has been an absolute saint, in my opinion. And sometimes it just takes a change of scenery to kind of, and let's not forget, we've talked about how young the guy is. So if I was making an argument for him, that's the one that I would, maybe provide, being that Jeff Hafley seems to be kind of a whisper in that sort of way, being a very good coach, not just disciplinary or anything, but not just scheming. He just seems like he's able to communicate well with his players and get the best out of them. That would be, if you were going to make an argument for Micah, that's the argument I'd want to hear, but I don't want to do it. I still don't want to do it.
How many of these would we have to give up for Micah Parsons?
Oh boy,
too many, too damn.
Put a couple Taco Bells out of business doing that. Let me tell you.
I'm gonna get the NFL Pro stats up real quick, just so we can kind of cross-check that missed tackle. Now they're not going to show missed tackle percentage; they'll just simply give you the.
They might show you this though.
Can't even see the screen, but I'm sure it's something outrageous. No doubt about it.
Sit your butt outside.
I'm so glad it's football season, guys. My God.
This brings up a good point. It says Parsons would be a Cox process stopper. I don't want that. It'd be a process stopper for all of them, for LVN, it just Mosby, Deslin, anybody, Barron. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do it. And that being said, if it happens, I'll be like, I always wanted to do it.
I'm getting a jersey. Right. Yeah, so they're showing on NFL Pro 43 tackles is what they've got listed for Micah. 32 stops. 32 stops. Like I said, Rashawn Gary had a much higher run stop percentage than Micah Parsons did. He had 12 sacks last year. His pressure percentage was 19%. That would have led the Packers. Obviously, Gary and Brenton Cox Jr. led the Packers at 13%. So again, it's real straightforward. Here's what I think's happened. Me personally, I think that Jerry is going to ask for a Herschel Walker type deal for Micah, and I don't think the Packers will get to that point. That's what I think. I think there's real interest. I think they're talking behind the scenes, all those things. But I think what it comes down to is Jerry holds the cards. That's the thing. Like, he's got his rights for 3 years. People, it's just a 1-year deal. No. If Jerry says, I'm not touching anything with the contract, you're going to be a Cowboy this year. Micah has two options: play for the Cowboys or sit and not get paid and then have to revisit this again next year. Period. Case closed, right? Now, let's say he does play this year. Next year, Jerry can franchise tag him again. And then Jerry can franchise tag him again. They have him for 3 years, no matter what David Mulugeta says, right? So has Jerry handled this good? Absolutely not. When is Jerry
he
handled
does hold all the cards right now. He really
He does. There's no doubt about it. So I say that because that's what gives him the power to tell the Packers, I want a Herschel Walker type deal here.
Yeah.
That's the kind of package I want. So that's what it comes down to. So that's why I have a hard time believing he would accept a first and a third, and that's where I'm at. I would give a first and a third. So that's where we're at. So anything else, boys? Anything at all? We'll get ready to wrap this up. I'm gonna go downstairs and I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do to get myself out of the doghouse this evening, boys. It's gonna be bad.
Bates. What a guy.
Oh, Bates, thank you so much, buddy. Tell them about it, Amelia, while I comb through one more time.
Oh, Bates is the guy because he has gifted 20 Packer Fan Total Access memberships on YouTube. So anybody listening on Twitter, even if you're just in the chat on YouTube, even if you just pull up the video and are in here, potentially could get your hands on one of those gifts. But yeah, I mean, that'll get you put onto the wheel, the Larry McCarron Pinky wheel. That can win you, what is that, weekly, every other week, every couple weeks?
How about these hands?
Head and take the 90-degree there out route of the Pinky, and we're going to get that baby spinning. And whoever wins that, go ahead and win you a potential card, jersey, memorabilia, whatever. So, yeah, hang around.
There you go. Thank you so much, Bates. We appreciate you. Round the horn one last time here, boys. Anything else y'all want to hit on before we wrap up? Anything at all?
No, like Emilio just said, if you guys are listening in Twitter or watching on Twitter, try to switch over to YouTube so that in the future we get your comments a little more quickly and easier there. And we're going to be doing this all season long. I'm sure there's going to be a lot more drama, a lot more rumors and stuff like that to cover. So while it's all quiet tonight on the front, I think that we will see some shakeups for sure tomorrow with some more free agent signings, guys getting released, guys getting swapped, that whole thing. So I think it's going to be an interesting season to say the least.
Oh yeah, we got some OGs with a couple of wins there. Mike Hebring got gifted a membership. Blake B got gifted. Johnny
Nice.
B.
Nice.
Who else? Packers Daily. Rob Westerman got a membership.
Rob Westerman got a
Rob, nice.
Dude, if he wins, let's spin that wheel. Let's get Rob one of these, man. But let's go.
Jacob Westendorf tweeted out an hour ago, Jerry, this is God. I want you to send him to Green Bay. We'll throw back to the Reggie days. So, all right, that's it, guys. We're gonna get out of here. Appreciate everybody. If Micah does get traded to the Packers here this evening, I may be up here on the couch in the game room anyway. I may go live. You know what I mean? That's probably what will end up happening. So, but we really appreciate everybody hanging out with us. Again, I would use caution on the rumors, but also stay plugged in the people that you trust. Like I said, man, Easton Butler's been good until you get, to me, the one that sticks out the most, Andy Herman saying, hey, there's something real behind the scenes. Now, whether they'll, meet the requirements to get it done, and I think it's still a stretch, but we'll see. And Kay Adams, obviously, she's the one. That's where this started, right? She stirred the whole pot. Am I thinking right?
Yeah, she can do whatever she wants, man.
Jacob, sir, you were out of control. She's not even a cop. All right, guys. Thank y'all so much. Hit that like button, hit subscribe. We'll see y'all tomorrow night, 6:30 p.m. Central for PTA Live, where we will talk about the practice squad additions, and we may even start to dive into a little Packers Lions talk, start to get a little scouting report put together. And I'm eager to revisit their injury situation to kind of see, because I know the Packers, last I checked, they are 1.5-point favorites at home against Detroit. So I think somebody said there's only one game this season that the Packers aren't favored, which is really cool. So, yeah. Respect oranges. There's always cosplay. Unbelievable. Faith, thank you so much, buddy. Appreciate you, man. You're too kind. Also, I want to give a shout out to Aaron Rodgers for the super chats earlier. Shout out to Nick McSwain, who's been a member here for 11 months. And H.E. Soda with the super chat as well. You guys are too kind. Make sure you check out our Patreon group, patreon.com/Packer Fan Total Access. We're going to be giving away an autographed Lucas Van Ness rookie card this weekend. Everybody take care. God bless. We'll see y'all tomorrow.
Here we go. We're out. Bye, guys.